Arjun Singh Chauhan of MY5 along with
Lalita from MYP2
will be the waves of NewsFlash Club today. Okay, first continuing with our disclaimer, all the committees present here, UNEP, Lok Sabha, UNHRC and the press are strictly meant for educational purposes and do not reflect upon any of the real life policies or events taken place. Continuing with a problem statement.
What problem do we strive to solve here? Our problem statement says humans are highly connected through screens, but emotionally disconnected from their inner selves and real relationships. The challenge here is to design mindful solutions that restore the balance between humanity and technology, allowing the screens to serve the soul, not silence it.
Tonight, we have 4 committees onto the stage. The first committee we have is United Nations Environmental Programme. The second committee we have is the Lok Sabha. The third is United Nations Human Rights Council. And the last and the final body we have is media and press. With the short introduction of each and every committee being done, I would now like to call upon the members of Environmental Wing onto the stage. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, teachers and students. We, the members of UNEP, are here to address our theme, Between Screens and Souls. To help us understand more clearly, our team has prepared a skit through the process of the design cycle that helps us create both innovative and sustainable ideas.
My name is Vaishvi and I play the role of soul. My name is Moksha and I play the role of youth. My name is Dinosh and I play the role of screen. Let us start. Come to me, scroll, swipe, binge. I'll give you endless videos, likes and trends. Who needs sleep or fresh air when I can entertain you 24/7? Child, do not lose yourself. Look beyond the screen. Listen to the birds, breathe the fresh air, walk in the garden. I give you strength, focus and peace. But screens keep me connected, updated and entertained. You sound so old-fashioned and slow. Who should I follow? I spread information faster than light. Without me, you'll miss on trends, memes, and friends. I give wisdom to choose truth from lies. Without me, you lose values, empathy, and connection. I show problems in real time. Climate change, disasters, and pollution. I inspire actions like planting trees, saving water, and living mindfully. Without me, everything is just noise. I see now. Screens give me knowledge, and souls give me purpose. I need a balance of both. Friends, let us reduce screen and reconnect with our families and friends. Let us use technology wisely. Screen shows the world, soul saves the world. Balance both, you save yourself. Thank you.
Did you see an old person sitting all alone on their own while the youth sitting beside the old person is on his or her gadget? If the gadgets we love are slowly poisoning our planet, why are we still treating e-waste like yesterday's trash instead of today's urgent responsibility? The elders among us carry a wise sorrow, watching the earth they love fall into crisis. Their worry is matched by the youth, whose hopes are dimming under the weight of an uncertain future. This is eco-anxiety, a global growing feeling of fear and grief. This psychological burden can hinder well-being, making it harder for communities to engage in urgent sustainable actions needed.
We, as the members of United Nations Environmental Programme, have come up with 2 draft policies to combat e-waste and eco-anxiety. The first draft policy we propose is data collection and data transparency. Data collection and data transparency might be a huge term to most of you, but let me explain you in a nutshell. When users trust their data to a company and company sells the data for mere prices to a third party, now this is called non-transparency. What UNEP proposes is there shall be a complete data transparency. Now, Moving on to our second policy we propose. The second draft policy we propose is of fund collection. With each and every member nation present in UNEP, we promise to collect huge amount of funds and build a data observatory to combat illicit data trafficking, which has been done without the information of users till this very day. Now that's it for the UNEP. I would now like to call upon the members of Lok Sabha committee onto the stage. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am a member of the Lok Sabha. Kindly listen to me. Have you ever unlocked your phone without ever knowing why? Screens surround us. They are meant to help us learn and connect. But somewhere along the way, they started to control our focus, emotions, and time. We, as the Lok Sabha, have already identified this problem, and through the Pagyata guidelines, have already promoted mindful learning and limited screen time. We also introduced Diksha, which is a platform for both learning and teaching. Through the design cycle, we empathize by studying how screens and souls are connected and how they cause fake news, stress, etc. We also define the problem, how we should be protecting both screens and souls. We also identified solutions to help the youth use technology more wisely and humanly. Now my fellow Lok Sabha member will continue. Thank you.
Thank you. We reviewed over 1,400 URLs that were anti-Indian news based off of fake news. That's why we reinforced and reenacted the Crime Fact Check Unit since 2019 to counter such fake news. Now I pass it on to my fellow Lok Sabha member to go more in depth.
Thank you. Today I'll be talking about our Digital Safety Policy 2025, created to protect both our screens and souls. We live in a digital era where screens are not just tools. They shape how we think, learn, and connect. But they can also be misled and cause harm. Such as in 2018, fake WhatsApp messages led to mobile violence in India. Or whereas in Delhi, a student's social media account was hacked after publicly sharing an email ID. These incidents remind us that it isn't technology that's the problem, it's how we use it. This is where our policy steps in. Grounded with privacy, safety and control, it bans cyberbullying, hate speeches and fake information, so that students stay safe online, teachers to support them and parents to guide them. Moreover, our policy also includes a reporting system where all incidents of cyberbullying, hate speeches or fake news must be reported to the DOS, Digital Safety Officer, within 72 hours, and that too confidentially with fair actions for the violation. Now my respected member of Lok Sabha will continue on.
Thank you. Then comes in step 7 of our digital safety and well-being policy, in which we plan on institutionalizing workshops for all students, teachers and parents so they can protect their own data and be able to digitally parent and teach. We don't want this to be a one-time document. That's why we are reinforcing a committee of people consisting of students, teachers and parents who ever volunteer and who can actually review this along with some IT experts to get this into gear. Once this draft is debated and passed, this model will actually shape campus rules and inspire national amendments. Now I pass it on to my fellow Lok Sabha member.
To conclude, our digital safety policy 2025 is our commitment to looking after our data and our dignity. It is developed through the implementation of expectations around safe online behaviors, responding to online issues, and ensuring awareness and education for students, staff, and parents. As part of the digital safety policy, we demonstrated how real problems can be transformed into real solutions through the design cycle. The work of our committee demonstrates we can make the digital world safer, healthier, and more humane with shared responsibilities. We are trying to use the screen, not misuse it. Thank you. Now the floor is open for the UNHRC committee.
Today, we the UNHRC have gathered to discuss the Digital Human Rights Charter, focusing on the connection between the screen and the soul, as well as the fundamental rights of privacy and freedom.
What does freedom mean? Freedom in digital world promises connection, but too often delivers surveillance, manipulation and erasure. When the truth is being fabricated or identity stolen, we confront technology without ethics endangers humanity. Should the law truly remain bound to offline world while injustice thrives online, our research exposes these gaps and confronts them directly, aiming to create a digital landscape that respects both rights and freedoms.
Thanks for setting the stage clearly. I am here to briefly introduce the Article 2 of our proposed charter. Article 2, Right to Privacy, Data Protection and Identity Sovereignty. This means your identity and all your personal information is your property. Companies cannot use secret tricks to grab your data or use it to manipulate you. This article ensures that our fundamental human rights hold true in the digital age. And with that, I hand the floor over to my fellow member.
Thank you. Now we'll be talking about Article 4, Protection from Cyber Harm and Digital Violence. Behind every username is a real person with emotion. This article protects individuals from cyber stalking, gender abuse, doxing, and many more. The 2014 Gamergate case was when women in the gaming industry faced severe threats and exposure of private details. By recognizing digital violence as real violence, victims of such receive the same respect and protection as those in real life. I will now pass the discussion to my fellow colleague.
Today, I present you an urgent digital rights case study, which is the Wiesenbaum Journal, which mainly highlights how manipulative design like the infinite scroll and exploitative notifications erodes autonomy in the attention economy. This clearly underscores the need for Article 8, the right to digital well-being and freedom from engineered addiction.
Building on the vital articles discussed by my teammates before me, I will now summarize Article 7 of this draft charter. Article 7 is our foundation for algorithmic fairness and human oversight. It rejects the discriminatory, automated decisions and demands the right to explanation and human review. The Compass case study of 2016 is a definitive example of how outdated human rights laws are powerless against opaque, commercially protected AI, resulting in systemic injustice. In closing, this Digital Human Rights Charter is the indispensable document needed to close critical loopholes in existing law and to legislate and protect the sacred space between the screen and the soul. Now the floor is open for the press. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. The Press and Media Committee stands here today as the voice of the NewsFlash Club, capturing not just headlines, but the heartbeats behind every story. In a world where screens dominate our lives, we bridge the gap between technology and humanity, turning pixels into powerful narratives that reflect our shared experiences and deepest values. Our mission here today is to ensure that every report goes beyond the surface level of journalism, reaching the soul of our community, and most importantly, we want to remind all of you that even in a digital era, our stories, like our souls, must remain genuine and alive. Without further ado, the Press and Media Committee would like to ask some questions regarding each committee. Now I pass it on to my fellow colleagues to continue. Thank you.
I will be questioning the Environmental Committee. My question to the Environmental Committee is, how are e-waste and eco-anxiety interlinked?
Thank you for your question, Press. E-waste and eco-anxiety are interlinked as we analyzed data, finding that India was on the top 3 list of e-waste production after China and USA, proving that these countries are having severe environmental problems affecting their mental health, creating eco-anxiety. Hope that answers your question.
The next committee that we'll be questioning is the Lok Sabha. How do you make sure that the policies and strategies that you have passed on are actually showing an effect on the individuals?
Thank you for your question, Press. We as the Lok Sabha will be passing on these policies to voluntary schools first, and then after we find out the flaws, the primary flaws, and then after we rectify them, we're going to pass it out into the open to make sure its effects are not bad. Thank you.
Moving on to the next committee, which is UNHRC. So my question for you is, if online rights are same as offline, why can country like Russia and China run surveillance without any UN action?
So, thank you for your question, Press. So, the UNHRC established the principle that the same offline rights must be applied online as well, as a non-binding international norm, which is meant to guide state behavior. The UNHRC lacks enforcing and sanctioning powers, which bodies like the Security Council have, and the UNHRC's capability to hold countries accountable is limited to monitoring and reporting and state sovereignty. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you, committees, for answering our questions.